How y'all doing out there in video land? This is Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. What we got going on today? Well, it's a prequel to the sequel of the Trailmaster and the Demko Recon Hawk. Oh yeah. Well, we had a major blooper yesterday, and so I had to cancel out the video once I saw it. I didn't see it until it was like too late to redo another one. So you guys are gonna miss the actual unboxing. We actually did an unboxing. I tried to edit the film and I messed it up. So, but anyway, here we go. This came from Midway USA, the Demco Recon Hawk. Absolutely love it, people. It's about 5 millimeters thick. It's got a Grivery type handle. Grivery is I-tail. It's bolted on, so it looks like it can be removed if you want to remove it and replace it with something else or do something else with it. I think I'm going to put tennis racket handle wrap on mine, like I did on my Warcrafts. Absolutely love this. I've been wanting one for a long time. And just been tempted to get one. It's one of those things that, you're tempted to get and you go back and forth on it. And then finally, you just see it for, $30 and you just go for it. And I needed to, bring up the shipping and stuff like that on the other purchase I made. Oh, the other purchase I made was that you don't see here. It was a 8010. I purchased one of those 8010s that they had on sale for $69. And it's a CPM S35 VN version with a Tonto blade and G10 handle scales. So I think they still got the sale going on. So if you guys are still interested in that, you can guys go get one. But anyway, that came from Midway USA. That's where this came from. I saw that, and so for so cheap, because usually those are like around 125 to $150. So for $69, that was a steal, So I never got one that low of a price before, not even from Midway. And so I decided to go for it. And I needed to get the $99 free shipping. And so I got this. Love it. And I love it, people. Love it. Absolutely love it. Sort of want another now. It'd be kind of cool to have two. Now I'm thinking like I am, playing Skyrim or something, video games. This is pretty badass, but it feels heavy and the handle feels a little bit slippery. So I would, if you were planning on getting one of these to use, I would recommend like wrapping the handle with some kind of grip tape or a tennis racket, tennis racket wrap, handle grip wrap, or something like that. Something that gives it a little bit more grip. It feels like they have a little bit more girth too to the grip. I think I would like a little bit more girth to it. So that's what I think I'm going to do with mine. The actual head, the blade feels, it's either a really good, I don't know, it might be a flat grind, but it feels like it has a little bit of a hollow to it when you actually touch it. Because I think it's just so steep, it feels like it's a hollow grind. I think, but when you look at the ends, let you guys look at the ends. I'm talking about this part right here. It sort of looks like it's a flat grind to me. I'm trying to show you both ends. But when you look at it from the side, it sort of looks like a hollow. I mean, it feels sort of like a hollow, like it has a slight hollow to it. I think it's just so steep. Coming from 5 millimeter going down to an edge. And this is like a knife edge. This is a sharp edge, people. You got a piece of paper over here? Let me see if it's sharp. No, not super sharp. Not super sharp, but it feels sharp. It feels sharp for an axe. All right, people. Well, that's this one. Let's move on to the Trailmaster. Trailmaster. I like the sheath that comes with too. Recon Hawk, the Demco Recon Hawk, 30 bucks, Midway, USA. All right. I'm going to set this one out the way, people, because this one's going to have a lot of comparisons. I don't have a whole lot of... There it is there. Let's see if this one's sharp. Razor. Razor, people. It's razor sharp. Absolutely love it. The 52-100. Oh, yeah. Trailmaster. Absolutely love it, people. Super thick, too. It's almost 8 millimeters thick. Let's do the measurements on it. Zero it out. Start right here where the guard is, where the tang meets the guard. .71 millimeters thick. Almost 8 millimeters thick. I'm going to come out halfway, or maybe like a quarter, a third of the way. 7.60. Come all the way out here where it starts to thin out. 7.23. Come up halfway from that point. 5.44 millimeters thick. Let's go to the tip. Trying to get the tip right there. .72, almost 2 millimeters thick. All right. The girth of the handle. I know some may want to know what the girth of the handle is. 19.4. Let me zero it out again just to make sure. Okay, let's do it again. 1903. 1903. And that's right where it has a little bit, I don't know, it's not a swell, it's like right where you put the, like your index fingers and the handle. Because the thicker parts of the handle are probably actually like towards the end of the handle, because it widens up a little bit, gets a little bit thicker at the ends, and gets a little bit thicker towards the guard too. And right in the center is like a spot that's like, I guess what they really want you to hold on to. Feels good. Feels like the handle could be have a little bit more girth to it though. But it feels good. It feels like, it feels like my Recons and everything else. It feels, it's a very familiar feeling for me. But because this blade is so heavy, I think I would like it a little bit more girth, a little bit more to grab onto. I don't know. We'll have to test it out, people. We'll have to test it out. Absolutely digging it. Absolutely digging it. 52-100. I actually like this one better than all the others. Why? Because, I don't know, did they make any other ones that were all blacked out? That's what I like about this one. Because this one, to me, is really like, it could be a combat knife because, you got a sharpened swedge. It's not, it's like a dull sharp, but, it could easily be, turned into a real sharp swedge. Be good for a backslash, for like Bowie knife fighting, Bowie knife fighting. Bowie, whatever you prefer. But this is like, to me, this is like the one that branches in between, that fills the gap in between a combat Bowie and a field knife and a camp knife. It bridges all those gaps. It's like, if you only can have one, if you can't carry, different knives and stuff like that, This one will do this one, you know, I'm sure this will be a nice chopper. As big, as thick as this is. This is probably the thickest blade stock out of any knife I have. And we're going to find out. Because I'm going to pull out all my biggest fixed blades. And we're going to see what, you know, how thick it is and if it's thicker than the rest. I can tell you right now, I think it is. And the fit and finish on this is perfect, people. There's no gaps or anything where the guard fits. No wiggle or nothing. It feels like the guard's welded to the blade. I mean, it's like, you know, it's like a real solid feel. This is a beautiful knife. Beautiful knife. It might become one of my favorite big knives. I don't know, I just like the way it's made. It's just beautiful. So it is a full tang, but it's like a wide rat tail that goes all the way through it. You know, a big full flat rat tail that goes through it. That's part of the blade, and it maintains its thickness, and it's just covered. And myself, you know, for knives that I actually use, I actually like the rubberized handles better, or the Kray-Ex handles. You know, I don't know, they just feel more comfortable to me, like when you're doing a lot of impact stuff, because they absorb shock a lot better. So, you know, it works for me. I know they're not as beautiful as like, you know, like a lot of the other kind of, you know, fancier materials that you can use, micarta or whatever, you know, but they're functional. And, you know, it gives you a nice grip and everything. But anyway, let's get on to the next ones. Next ones we got in here. The Sheath. How's it fit? Holds on to the blade really good, people. And it's got minimal rattle. It's got a little bit of rattle, but not a whole lot. And always with these kind of sheaths, like I always tell everybody, is that you want to run your spine along the top of the sheath. The Kray-Ex sheaths, I love them. They last forever. They're super durable. They're a lot more durable than, like, let's say a leather sheath, or, you know, or even a Kray-Ex sheath, you know, because these sheaths are very tough. The Kray-Ex sheaths, I know they got a glass filling in their Kray-Ex or polymer or whatever the kind of plastic that they use. You know, but the purpose of that, you know, part of the purpose of that is to make the sheath stronger. But what you got to do is you just got to make sure you don't run your edge along it when you draw or sheath your knife. And what I recommend is that, you know, like, especially if you have like a single edge knife, double edge is kind of tough. Double edge, you know, you're probably better off with a different type of sheath than, you know, like a Kray-Ex type sheath, because it's kind of hard to, you know, always put in your blade and take it out without rubbing the blade's edge against the sheath. Because glass is strong, you know, it's harder than steel. And that's what will dull your edge. And that's what this plastic has in it. It has glass in it, just like, you know, fiberglass. But you run your spine. This is your spine. Run the spine along the spine part of your sheath. So then your edge never even touches the sheath. Just like that. This sheath works perfectly with this knife. This is a really nice package, people. I highly recommend it, from Chicago Knife Works. Highly recommend it. I got this one for $124. And I saw in the notes today that they're offering it for $120. I highly recommend this knife. 52-100 is a ball bearing steel. It's a ball bearing steel. It's not a spring steel, it's a ball bearing steel. It's a little bit different, which also means that this steel is as opposed to just showing you that it doesn't damage the edge when you do it like that. But this kind of steel, as opposed to like a spring steel, from what I read up on it, you know, I'm still, you know, I have to test it. I do have a 5160 buck knife, combat knife, and I have used that, and it's held the edge perfectly. I've never had to resharpen it or anything. And I've done a lot of batoning and things like that with it. So I know it holds the edge fairly well, but according to what I've read, the ball bearing steel holds the edge better. It holds the edge better than spring steel. And it's tough, and it's still tough. The spring steel, I guess, is supposed to be a little bit tougher than the ball bearing steel. But Ball bearing still, though, what it does have over the spring still is edge holding capability. It can be tempered to a higher temper and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, that's why I read up on it. I don't, this is my first 52-100 knife, people. So, and it's a learning experience. This is the unboxing. Even though it's not the real unboxing because that was a blooper, but this is the unboxing. I haven't done anything with this knife yet. But from what I've read up on it, it should be fairly impressive. Absolutely love it. Anyway, let's compare it to some others. I'm going to move the sheath out the way. Oh, yeah. Bring out my bag of knives. These are my outdoors knives. This is the bag I take with me, put in my vehicle when I go to the outdoors. Got a bag of knives, people. We're going to go through some knives here. All right. I'm going to set these on the floor. We're doing one at a time. I want to do the BK first. Why? Because the BK has been my go-to. This is my BK. I had a custom sheath made for it. And absolutely love it. It's got a ferrule rod right there. Absolutely love it, people. And that's my BK9. This is my go-to knife whenever I want to do anything heavy duty. I always go out and get this one. Absolutely love this knife. Okay, I'm not going to go over the specs. Everybody knows the specs on the BKs. This is another one of my favorites. In the first video, I forgot to pull this one out, but in this video, we're going to pull this one out. It doesn't have a finish on it because I pulled the finish off of it. And what is that? Wild Pig Hunter. Tops Wild Pig Hunter. Next up is one of my favorites. Ontario Knife Company. OKC. OKC Survival Bowie. SP5. Made out of 1095 HC. Oh, by the way, the pig sticker, this one's made out of 1095 HC too. It's differentially heat treated. This one's 1095 CV, chromium vanadium, which is like a common steel that was used for a long time for combat knives. After the 1095 HC, it was like the improvement over the HC. It was a little bit more rust resistant. It was able to take a little bit higher tempering, so it was a little bit better edge holding. Oh yeah, 52-100. All right. Next up. Is this the Bolo? I think this is the Bolo. All right. That's the Bolo. That's the big heavy duty one. This one's always been the king of my heavy duty knives until now. We'll find out. We'll find out, people. We'll find out. Next up. Oh yeah. This is my Raider Bowie, SP10, Raider Bowie, Ontario Knife Company. When I purchased these, people, the most expensive one I think was this one. I think it was like $65. This one was like $50. And this one was like $60 or something like that. But, Ontario used to give you a whole lot of knife. They weren't the prettiest knives. But, they supplied them to our military and everything else too. But They'd give you a whole lot of knife for a very little price, people. And these have thick tangs going all the way through the handle, just like the Cold Steel Trailmaster. They're pretty much made the exact same way. This one has a big thick guard, steel guard on it, just like a Trailmaster. So this one and the Trailmaster, to me, are the ones that are most alike as far as like their build and construction is concerned. They both have super thick 1095, or this one has a 52-100. This one's a 1095 HC blade. Super heavy duty. I've used it for batoning, and I've tested all these out. All these knives have been used. All right, next up. Now this is a blade shape that I haven't really gotten into. I got this one just because I wanted to try it out, and because it was a OKC, and it was like, maybe this was a $65 one. I can't remember, people. Or maybe it was $50, or maybe it was cheaper. Maybe it was $44. I can't remember. But I got them all from Midway USA. They all came from Midway USA. The Midway USA used to carry these. I don't know if they still have anymore. They might still have some, people. And if they do, I highly recommend them. These are like super heavy duty, super big, and these aren't lightweight knives. These aren't knives that you want to carry at your side. These are knives that you would either carry in your backpack or in your truck or in your car or something like that. You're not gonna want to carry these all day. These all weigh a lot. They're like super thick. All mine are 1095 ones. They're all made with 1095 high carbon steel. And this is the kukri. Put that one down there. And then I got one collector. One collector that I actually, put it in my bug out bag. It's my bug out bag knife. My big bug out bag knife. It goes to work with me every day. But I sort of think of it as a collector. I don't use it. And I don't plan on using it for batoning or anything else like that. What is it? It's my leatherneck. It's my K-bar on steroids. K-bar on steroids. This is the sheet that comes in. Just like the Trailmaster, this sheet works great. I went through a couple of these before I got one that was good. The first two I had loose guards on them, and they were the Lindsey Thompson collector ones. And then I gave up on those, and I just decided to get a regular one. The regular one was perfect. I tried to get the Lindsey Thompson one, but I didn't want one with the loose guard, people. The loose guard was so loose it was rattling. So that turned me off. And they were low numbers too. So, maybe I should have collected it. I don't know. I just turned me off because it was like a factory defect. But this one's perfect. Absolutely love it. This is made out of German D2. Tells you right there, German D2. Love it. Absolutely love it. We're going to put that one down here. That's the only one that, doesn't really get used. All these other ones, well, this one hasn't been used yet. But all these have been used to split wood. I make videos with them, splitting wood and stuff like that, doing batoning and stuff like that. They don't look that messed up because I always clean my blades, people. I clean them off with oil and everything like that. And then, I strop the edges so I get all the gunk out the edges, because that kind of stuff can corrode your edges, can mess up your edges. So I always recommend cleaning your knives after you get done with them. I know a lot of people want their knives to look dirty and like hardcore used and all that kind of stuff. But, that could be damaging to the finish of your knives too, if you don't clean them off afterwards. But anyway, people, these are my big blades. These are my big blades. Let's do some comparisons. My big, what I would call camp field knife or whatever kind of blades. They're not actually blades I think I'd want to carry. There's a couple here that I would consider carrying, and we'll talk about those. But the majority of these, no, I wouldn't want to carry them. Okay, we already know that this one was it 7.7? We're just going to do the blade tangs, and we'll do the blade tips. Zeroed out. 7.73. Man, that can't be right. Got to zero it out. It's telling me 3 millimeter. There we go. 5.04. 5.04. 5.04, people. That was the BK9. BK9. 5.04. 1095 CV. 6.22. Let me zero it out just to make sure. I think that sounds about right, though. 608. We'll call it 6 millimeter. That's for the tops. Tops Wild Pig Hunter, pig sticker. 6.5 millimeters. 6.5 millimeter stick for the SP5. This is the one I like. This is my favorite one out of the OKC big blades, the SP5. Why? Because it's lighter and I can move it in my hand. It feels more like a big machete. Like, I don't know, I like it. 6.5 millimeters. Okay. Zero out again. Bolo. Okay, the Bolo, we're going to do the tip on this one too. 6.5 millimeters, same thickness. But look, right before you get to the tip, well, we got 6.37 millimeters, almost same thickness. Right at the tip. 3.894 millimeter stick. This is crazy. This one is crazy. This is what I call a serious chopper. That's a serious chopper. And it hits hard too, people. When you chop into stuff, it hits really hard. It hits really hard. Okay. I thought we did this one already. I think we did like this. Okay. The Raider Bowie, SP10. 6.5 millimeters, all like the same millimeters. And the blade tip, .2.0. Pretty much like the Trailmaster. The Trailmaster was almost 2.0. And here we go again. Here we go. Oh, yeah. With the Fighter. It's kind of hard to get this one at the right time. 4.66 millimeters. And the blade tip, fight me. Okay, here we go. 2 millimeters. So it's about the same. Did we get the blade tip of the Wild Pig Hunter? 1.67. 1.67 on that one. 1.57. 1.57. In the Big Mama Jamma Kukri. 6.5 millimeters. It's going to be 2 millimeters. 2 millimeters. I can tell just by looking at it. It's going to be 2 millimeters. So the ones that have the thickest blade tips were this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. This one was close to 2, I think it was too. But this one had the smallest blade tip. It was at 1.5 millimeters. Interesting, huh? Yep, all these are good knives, people. All these are super tough knives. I highly recommend all of them. The OKCs you can't get anymore, but if you can get them, I highly recommend them. Let's do some weighing. Let's see what the weight differences are. All right. Okay, we'll do the kukri first. 1 pound, 3.5 ounces. 1 pound, 3.5 ounces. So that's 19.5 ounces. I'm gonna move this off the table now. What are we gonna, let's do the OKCs first. They're probably the heaviest ones. 1 pound, 6.2 ounces. So that's 22.2 ounces. 22.2 ounces. That's a heavy knife. But this one's even heavier, probably. Oh, wow. 1 pound, 6.3 ounces. So that's just a little bit heavier. Just a little bit heavier than the SP10, the Bolo. All right. Was it 122.3? Here goes the one I like. Now you guys are going to see the reason why I like this one so much. 14.9 ounces. That's more realistic to me for a Bowie. I like Bowies that are more in that range. And this one feels so good in hand too. I think this would be an excellent fighting knife, and it's got a, like a dull sharpened swedge. Is that what we can call it? Like a dull sharpened swedge. It's not fully sharpened, but it looks like it just wouldn't take too much to make it sharp. For stabbing, though, it wouldn't be quite as good because it's got a very upswept. It'd be better at slashing. It'd be better at being like a machete. I absolutely love this one, people. All right. Next up, what we want to do next? Let's do this one next. This one is a tank too. This one feels super heavy. 1.15 ounces. So that's 17.5 ounces. 17. It's lighter than I thought it was. 17.5. Feels heavier than that. 17.5. Next up. I'm going to do this one next. 14.2 ounces. This is another one I would like to carry if I was a soldier. This one wouldn't be too heavy for me to carry for a fixed blade. I absolutely love this knife. And this looks like a real combat knife. It's actually designed after a Russian soldier, it's Russia's combat knife. And I have one of those too. I forget the name of it. I forget what they call it. People. But this knife is basically the same knife, only it's the US version by Tops. In the Tops version, I don't know which one is more heavy duty or, which is stronger or better or whatever. They're both beautiful knives. Whether you get the Russian one or you get the one from Tops. The Russian one's less expensive. That's for sure. The Tops one costs more. It's like Kizailer. I think it's Kizailer or something like that. I can't think of the company that makes the Russian one. I'm sorry, people. The Russian one comes with a leather sheath, and it has a image of a wild boar hunting on it. It's beautiful. And supposedly it was designed for the Russian special forces. Then they have a smaller version that was a military knife for regular soldiers. I have one of those too in my military collection. I absolutely love this one. I like the American version. I absolutely love it, people. I would highly recommend this one, for, soldiers not afraid to carry a little bit heavier knife. Because this is a super heavy duty knife. Look at the way this sucker's made. And it's a Tops. Differentially heat treated. So it's meant to be a tough knife. All right, people. So go ahead and put that one away. Oh, did we wait? I'm sorry. We waited, didn't we? Yeah, we did. 14 ounces, 14.1. All right, next up, we're getting down to the end now. Okay, here we go. BK9, people. BK9. 1 pound, 2.4 ounces. 1 pound, 2.4. So that's 18.4 ounces. And honestly, this is one of my favorite knives, period, for like doing actual heavy duty chores, heavy duty, wood crafting or a chopping task or anything like that. This has always been my go-to. I love the BK9. Now, you can get these when you buy them stock. They're not that expensive, but I put the micarta grips on mine, and I got a custom sheath for it because I didn't like the stock sheath. I didn't like the polymer grips that it came with. So I swapped those things around and made it, come out to like around $200, a little bit over $200 for the whole package I turned this into. But it's my go-to package. It's the one I like the most. When I ever go fishing or something like that, I always make sure I take this with me. And, over all these others that you see here, this is the one that always goes with me. It always goes with me. And the other one that I'd like to take a lot too is my Essie. I like my SE6. That's my other favorite knife. But I absolutely love the BK. BK9, people. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. And last but not least, 1 pound, 1.2 ounces for the Trailmaster. Absolutely love it. Wait a minute, did we do the blade length? Did we do the blade length on Trailmaster? Let's see what it is. Right at about 9.5 inches. Just a tiny bit shy of 9.5. 9.5 inches for the blade length. Handle length. Now, if you go up just to the guard, it's about 4 3/4. No. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 eighths. 4 7/8. Almost 5 inches. 4 7/8. Now, if you go past the guard, where the blade tank starts, then it's 5 1/8. 5 1/8. Total length, looks like 14 5/8. 14 5/8. Absolutely love this one, people. Highly recommend it. I was going to get out and test it today, but that'll have to be probably next weekend when I get out and test it. I'm going to take it down to the river. Take it down the river. Do a little testing down at the river. Take all my big knives and we'll compare them all and see which one chops the best. Absolutely love it, people. This is going to be a user. It's not a collector, people. I got this one to use and see how badass it is. Because I've been watching videos on these for years. And now I finally got one. They finally made one that I could afford that I wanted. With a steel that I think might be a good steel. The 52-100 steel I think might be an excellent steel for this type of knife. Because it's supposed to hold the edge. It's supposed to be a high carbon steel, but it's supposed to be a steel that rusts real easily though, people. So you want to keep your maintenance up on this knife if you don't want to get rusted. I wouldn't take the finish off of them. I know a lot of people like always take the finish off of things. But on this type of knife, this type of steel, I don't know if I would take the finish off of it because you're going to suscept it to a lot of moisture. If it ever gets susceptible, put it in a moisturous area or anything like that, it's going to rust. It is a very high carbon steel. Where's the balance on it? Right about here. So, it's a little bit blade heavy, but that's the way you want a chopper to be. You want a chopper to be a little bit blade heavy. You don't want to be too blade heavy like one of these, let me pull out an example here. Like the Bolo. The Bolo is blade heavy. I mean, it's like, it makes your wrists, To me, like when a knife or anything like an axe or knife or anything like that is too blade heavy, what happens is it wears out your wrist when you use it. For me, it does anyway. Maybe my wrist is not super strong or something. That makes my wrist get sore. And so I like things that have a little bit more balance towards the handle. I know that takes away from its chopping ability, but it also makes it easier on my wrist when I'm using it. Makes it more comfortable for me to use. I can already tell I wish that this had a little bit more girth to the handle. I really like these handles. The OKC handles, these have really good grip. I feel like I'm using my whole grip to hold them. And that's the way you want it, with one of these. You want to be able to, have your whole grip in it. These are beautiful knives. Beautiful knives, people. For heavy duty chopping chores, this is like an axe, really. It's more like an axe than it is a knife. Absolutely love them. And this one, to me, is the one that's closest to it in build construction. And I must admit, I think I like this handle better than I like the cold steel handle. I just like the way that this handle feels better. But I like the way this knife feels better in my hand. This knife feels more balanced. It feels like a fighter. Even though it's like a real thick and heavy duty knife, it still feels like a fighter. It feels like it's meant to be like, like what Bowie's meant to be, like a self-defense knife too. And that's what this one feels like. This one feels like it's a little bit on the heavy side to be a self-defense knife, and it doesn't feel like it's balanced right. Let me see what we got going on here. It's not too bad. It's not too bad, actually. Because, you expect it to be, maybe it's just a big, heavy, bulky knife. This one feels a lot lighter. Well, it is a lot lighter. And it's funny, though, it's got the thicker blade and it's lighter. Love it. But this one, is one that I think, I don't know. I like the way this blade shape is better because this would be better for stabbing and piercing. This one's going to be good for slashing, but not as good for stabbing because you're going to get a lot of restriction on the stab because of the way the blade shape. So it's so upswept. But for a slash, it's bad. It'd be tough. But this one, it'd be better for stabbing. It'd be better for stabbing. I think this might be a better self-defense knife. Even though this one feels, I just love the way the SB5 feels in my hand. That's my favorite OKC big blade. I just love the way that feels in my hand. This one feels good in your hand too. They all feel good in my hand. All right, people. Let's get ready to close this one out. I ran out of room. Uh-oh. What am I doing here? Ran out of room. Do it like that. Oh, we got to top it off. You got, if you're gonna have one of these, you got to have an axe to go with it, right? You got to have a combat axe. And here's mine. My combat axe choice is the Recon Hawk, Demko Recon Hawk. All right, people. Hope everybody's having a great day. Peace out, Stiletto.